This is CJ, a 19-year-old student based in Weston-super-Mare, taking a media production course at Weston College. Many people are unaware that CJ's mum is an alcoholic. All families have their problems. CJ's family must cope with his mum's addiction and live with the consequences. One in 17 people in Great Britain depend on alcohol to get through the day. CJ's mum is one of them. She drinks alone and tries to hide it when she can. She makes any excuse to drink, yet becomes hostile when asked about it. She is unable to stop or reduce her alcohol intake. This stops her from eating properly. This food neglect decreases her performance. His mum continues to drink with the knowledge that her health, work and family are being harmed.
And the last few years have been quite tough on me and my whole family as well. It was hard at first talking about it all because I guess I kind of tried to hide it as much as I could. She lost a lot of weight really quickly and she was throwing up after meals and things like that. I was scared that I weren't going to get the chance to say goodbye to her if she was to go. My mum's skin was going yellow. Her eyes were going yellow. When I looked into her eyes when I came to give her a hug, it wasn't my mum. Scared to cry in front of her because I didn't want her to get upset. Because when she's upset she normally drinks more, makes herself worse. It's not been easy and it's downright tough at times, but I like to put a smiley face on because I want to enjoy my life and I want to enjoy everything in it. But it's weird to think that my mum isn't my mum anymore. She's the alcohol.
CJ is visiting someone who has had similar experiences with an alcoholic parent. He seeks to learn about her experiences and compare them to his own.
I grew up with my father who was an alcoholic, although he was never at that point able to actually acknowledge it himself, unfortunately, because I just remember this awful feeling of kind of unpredictability about how he's going to behave and how he'd be and what was going to happen and whether there'd be a kind of violent encounter with my mum. He could be quite frightening. You know, he's got a scary drunk, really. I think that's partly why my mum used to sort of keep everything very, very private, because she would have been quite upset if she thought that anyone knew.
From these experiences, did you learn anything?
Definitely, to be honest, because I've always been quite fairly open about it as an adult, and I think, to be quite honest, there is a positive side. I know it doesn't sound as if there was. Unfortunately, he lost his life. He actually ended up sort of drowning in our local river, which is a bit traumatic. So he didn't have a happy end, but to be quite honest, he tried several times to give up because his health problems were directly related to his drinking.
When you got the news of your dad's accident, how did you take it?
It was horrendous, to be honest, because I was still in my teens and I just moved to London to kind of start a different life, and massive guilt, because I just somehow thought I could have helped or I could have stopped it or done something. And at the time also I thought maybe he'd done it purposefully, so it took me quite a few years to resolve that, really. But yeah, massive shock. I just completely traumatised, actually.
I mentioned to you that my mum's also an alcoholic. She drinks quite commonly. Is there anything that you think that I can take from your experiences to sort of help me?
There is actually. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was talking to one of my colleagues, and I actually said, in the long run, it has massively protected me. And I know that I have some of his genes obviously in me, and it's been a protecting factor because I've always been really aware of how much I drink myself and how I sort of I sort of avoid certain things in my life. I've certainly avoided relationships in the past when I've suspected that someone might have some issues which I can't deal with. Overall, it has massively. I've got a really happy, I'm in a really good mental state, and kind of always have been, which is, I'm so grateful for that. And I think I'm just incredibly lucky because I haven't got those problems.
Well, spoke to Fiona today, and it was really nice just to speak to someone who's experienced something a bit like I have. She seems like a very strong person, and she gives me a lot of hope for my mum, and kind of makes me think that I haven't got it all that bad. Could be worse.
CJ is visiting Campania Rehab Centre for a chat with its manager, Milan Moores. He has some questions that he thinks will help him and guide the decisions regarding his mother's addiction.
What is your occupation and what does it entail?
Well, my job basically is that running this place and make sure people are safe and getting proper care and support. We're dealing with people with alcohol-related problems, which is alcohol addiction plus any related problems to alcohol, and mainly alcohol-related brain damages such as Korsakoff syndrome or any other type of mental or physical illnesses. Rehabilitation is it's a quite big process, okay, of physical, mental and social recovery. Family is the first people affected mostly. Alcohol addiction, it's a life process recovery.
My mum's currently going through some alcohol related problems. I believe she's been drinking for roughly about 4 years to my knowledge. What would your advice to me be, first steps to sort of help her?
It's I would say a family meeting to sit down seriously, not like many discussions you have around the table when you have your tea, but organize a family meeting, sit down and have a good discussion, very open discussion, okay, which might even hurt, okay, but it's very important. And see what you can get. See if you can get any cooperation from your mom. But you must be very open, very firm in some way, but also showing the empathy and love and the relationship as a family that you guys can get together and help your mom. But and then depends on the result from this meeting. Then I would say other next move will be to get some professional help. Very important thing I would advise is for you and your other family members must be fully involved with the process and start educating yourself about addiction, about all the signs and about everything around alcohol addiction. Very last thing I would like to say when you mentioned the love is it is extremely difficult for families to help someone in a family with problem, because yes, in some point you need to be very strict and firm with the person, but it's always worth a try.
Me again. Spoke to Milan today. Went really well. It was a bit of a different way of speaking to someone about it though. Because he encounters it every day, he was quite blunt with his facts. And he was very dead straight with the way he went about things.
It really helped me speaking to Milan, because it raised my awareness and sort of made me understand a bit more what to do next with my mum and how she's going to get better with my support.
Why can't she just pack it in? Leave it all behind her. And be the mum I remember.
Everything's not all doom and gloom in my life. At college, I'm enjoying it with my full heart. I've realised what I want to do in life. I want to be a camera operator. I want to eventually go on to directing. The possibilities are endless with this course. I'm so happy, and the people here just make it for me. And to be honest, it wouldn't be the same without the guys I'm working with. They're amazing, outstanding people, and they fill you with so much fun and joy when you're working with them. They just gets you through the day. My mum has a flat in Weston, so I'm much closer to college. It means I can socialise a lot more with my college friends who are in Weston. It just generally means that things are getting better. They're on the way up. Mum's health's getting better. She's currently back in hospital, but that's for a non-alcohol related issue. And I think the high point of pretty much my life so far is I spent Christmas and New Year with my 7-month-old daughter, and just seeing her eyes light up and opening presents and fighting between her presents and Christmas paper just because it's wrapping, it's noisy, it's shiny, and just seeing her giggle and laugh. And I think a few of the ways that I'm going to get through this in the long run and now is I'm going to go speak to someone from the welfare office. I think they can really support me in this building process to make things better. Also, this documentary has helped so much. It's made me realise that people do care. You can forget about it sometimes, but even if it's just lending you their ear, they're still there for you. And I think that's what I've realised, and I speak to more people about it, and I am becoming more and more open with this.
I've never given up, and I probably never will.